Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Liam here. I just finished filming a video in Taipei right now, and it's on. It is let's see, 4:55 a.m. right now in the morning, and I just want to talk about that because I've had about 5 hours sleep. But I'll show you the video I did in a second. But just had a shower. I've been up since about 3 a.m. So I've been up for like 2 hours filming a video here. But what I want to tell you is I gave myself a rule, a discipline that I wasn't allowed to break it. And I tell you guys a lot about fasting and sleeping and getting up at a certain time and going to bed at a certain time. But I flew for 12 hours straight yesterday, had a 4-hour stopover, and flew for another 4 hours to get to Taipei, on my way to Thailand right now. And lots of people, they give themselves excuses. They say, Liam, I'm not gonna, or they tell themselves, I don't want to, or oh, it's my birthday, or it's my friend's birthday, or it's my mum's funeral, or it's something like this or something like that. And if you make one excuse for one thing, you're the kind of person that will just keep making up excuses. So I slept about 4 hours last night, and the benefit is that I won't get sick because an hour ago, so I had a cold shower to boost my immune system. I haven't eaten today. I sleep very, very well and very deeply. I eat very well. I didn't eat plain food. I was fasting for most of the plane trip. I had raw eggs, which I just ate before I went. So the likelihood of me getting sick from lack of sleep, I'd be able to feel it right now if I was going to get sick. It's not going to happen. So you can do these things with discipline if you just stop making excuses for yourself, and you can get better. I travel all around the world, stay in random places where sometimes I have to go to 3 different supermarkets to find any food that I can eat, but yet I still do it. Okay? And whatever excuse you're making up, I don't want to hear it. Okay? So I'll still go to bed at probably 7, and then I'm flying out again tomorrow, 4-hour flight to Thailand. So if you guys are going to be in Thailand, as I said, come visit me. I'll be in Chiang Mai, but anyway, here is the video, okay? Okay, hold on short. Let's get into it. So let's talk about the 3 most common types of tinnitus. We'll exclude TMJ for this video because there's a lot of people that think they have TMJ. They just reduce inflammation of their brain shrinks, as it should, because your brain swells when it's inflamed. When your brain shrinks, the skull plates go back into the normal place and the TMJ goes away. And I've seen it happen again and again for people to persevere and don't get too worried and don't search online for all different things and freak themselves out, which is very common with people with tinnitus, because people with tinnitus think they have anxiety, but they do, but really what's happening is your brain is falling to pieces, you're getting anxiety, and tinnitus, hearing loss, anxiety, fear, adrenaline, loss of sleep, all this stuff is a side effect of brain issues. So let's talk about this. We're going to talk about tinnitus, hyperacusis, and pulsatile tinnitus. Tinnitus is just the ringing, buzzing, humming in your ear. You get spikes from that. Hyperacusis is a sensitivity to noise. It means that everything you hear sounds like nails on a chalkboard. In the worst case scenario, you can get spikes from that. Pulsatile tinnitus is a heartbeat in your ear. Okay, so let's break it down. It's very early right now. It's about 3 a.m. where I am in Taipei. I slept about 4 hours, whatever it is, but that's fine. So this is supposed to be the brain, as you can so clearly see. And this is supposed to be the intestines, as it's so clearly shown. And you have a lymphatic system that goes from your intestines to your brain, that takes the minerals and nutrients to your brain, okay? And when you happen to get toxins in your brain, the same lymphatic system delivers those toxins to the large intestine so that you can poo them out. And that is obviously not some weird shaped thing. It's definitely a poo, because I'm really good at drawing. So what happens is you digest food, correct? And so let's say you're eating the wrong kinds of food. You also have different issues such as gallstones, which inhibits digestion. So if you have your gallbladder and your liver over here, and you have gallstones and you can't digest food, and you're eating the wrong food by putting the wrong food in your mouth in here. This is getting messy, but you stay with me. So let's just stick with bread, because that's pretty common. Everyone thinks you should eat bread, but then again, everyone has tinnitus, don't they? Go figure. And the amount of people and friends of mine and friends of mine who are getting tinnitus is just, I've never ever seen it before in all the years that I've had tinnitus and I've been helping people with tinnitus. It's growing. The number is growing. There's no denying that, okay? So you put bad food into your mouth, and what happens is you eat it and you digest it, okay? And it goes down here in the middle, down your digestive tract. Can't forget that. goes into your intestines. It causes waste products when you metabolize it because it's crap. You get a little bit of gallstone, okay, over years of time. And what happens is it doesn't digest properly, and also you get this crap, the sugar, into your brain, okay, and your brain starts to toxify. But then, of course, you're young. Let's imagine you're young, and so the brain pulls the toxins into the intestines and you poo it out. Nothing happens, okay? Now let's go 20 years in the future, okay? Because you're going to get bread when you're basically 1 because your mum's eating bread. So thank her for this shit, okay? So you ingest the bread now and you digest it, okay? And you've got all sorts of gallstones that are preventing bile from secreting, so you can't digest anything properly. So you've got putrid food. The putrid food is blocking the lymphatic system here, so you can't even get good or bad minerals to the brain, so you've got a nutritional deficiency. There's plaquing probably in the intestines, and also there's putrid food blocking everything because you've never had a colonoscopy. It's going up to your brain. Nothing can get to your brain, and if it does get to your brain, you're probably eating shit, and you think you're eating well, but you're not. If you're drinking tap water, everything's effed. It's as simple as that. And what happens is this part of the lymphatic system gets blocked too, and nothing can get drained. So you've had years of shit, which is just sitting here, and nothing. You can have all the supplements and minerals you want, but if this is not clean, it's not going anywhere, okay? And then you get tinnitus because the nerves attached to your ears are effed up. You can get adrenal problems because your pineal gland, which is in your brain, controls your thyroid gland, which is in your throat, which is the biggest regulator of drum roll, the adrenal glands. And the adrenal glands are of course responsible for adrenal hormones such as epinephrine, cortisol, which is the fight or flight mechanism. Now tell me again how diet is not connected to tinnitus, and well, basically you're wrong, okay? And anybody who says, oh, just have the coffee and do it, makes you feel good, doesn't understand the science behind it. Hyperacusis. We come back to the brain, okay? And we have an ear here. And of course we have the auditory pathway that connects the brain, the outer inner and the part of the brain, outer inner middle ear, the part of the brain that connects, so the ear that connects to the brain. So I'm obviously not going to break it down for you right now because it'll take 45 minutes and who cares really, can understand this. So what happens when somebody clicks their fingers like I did then? Sound waves emanate and they come, and of course they hit the ear canal, and the ear canal is designed as such to trap the noise. That's why it's big on the side of our head, and pull it into the eardrum, go into from the outer ear, past the eardrum into the middle ear, and then the inner ear in here inside the brain, and then the brain is responsible for turning it into noise and making it so that you can understand it. Now what happens in here is that the cells inside your inner ear, called the endoplasmic reticulum, are responsible for turning the sound waves into electricity, because of course your electricity is supposed to is how the brain functions. Remember, the human body is electric before we're chemical. So before you start taking those antidepressants, start thinking about how your body might be affected by the electricity in your house. And it is being affected by electricity in your house, and your doctor doesn't know. If you think your doctor's learning about Wi-Fi, give me a break. So what happens is, if when you eat badly, okay, and you have cell death, and as we spoke about before, there's no clear path for the cells to go. And if you're eating every day, what happens is the body has priorities. So the body's number one priority is to survive. And how does it survive? It eats food. That's it. So if you're always eating food, the body's attention goes on digesting. It's not going to go on breaking down the cells. It's called autophagy. So if you go a day without eating, what happens is the cells inside your inner ear, let's say there's 3 of them, and they're responsible for taking 30%. There's obviously millions, 30%. And 30% of the power, and this takes an extreme amount of power, by the way. Extreme. Cells are supposed to die every day, so let's say this cell dies here, then this cell gets 50%, and this cell gets 50%, right? Now what happens if you don't fast, or you continue to eat food, your lymphatic system is blocked, or you have a head injury, for example? What happens here? What happens is that these cells start to get overwhelmed, and they just die anyway. So then this cell dies the next day, and then this cell is getting 100% of the effort. You think it can take that? No, so it dies. So what happens is, when you start to eat food, okay, even if you eat good food, these dead cells still take an equal portion. They're no longer carrying an equal part of the burden, but they're still taking an equal portion of the nutrition of the food that you eat. Unfair, huh? That's the way it works. So you're feeding dead cells. So not only does this cell have more of a burden, but it gets less of the nutritional value of the food that you eat. if you can even get it to your brain from your busted lymphatic system, and the fact that your digestive system doesn't work properly because you have gallstones. So what happens is you get noise sensitivity because you just can't handle it, okay? It would be like me lifting a 5 kilo weight. That's no problem, mate. A 5 kilo weight's like the weight of a chair. But if I was going to lift like a 50 kilo dumbbell with one arm, it's not going to happen. There's no way. But if I was to bench press it, not a problem at all. You see what I mean? It's got to be a joint task. But when these guys start to tap out, you get hyperacusis, okay? And why do I think this is true? Because when people dry fast and they heal those cells, the hyperacusis goes away, okay? Have a theory, prove the theory. What was the last thing? Pulsatile tinnitus. Okay, let's get into one more time the stomach. And one more time. Let's get into the stomach. Actually, no, we'll go into the heart, okay? Aorta, other valves. And the blood flow, okay? The arteries to the ear. And remember, the ear, okay, is the hardest part in the whole head for the blood to reach. Remember that. It's got the smallest artery going towards it, okay? Now, if you're going to eat bread, rice, and pasta, and you're going to metabolize sugar, which is in dairy too, you're going to have waste products, 4 waste products to be precise. One of those waste products is acetate. Now, what does acetate do? It causes toxins to exist in the blood, so it causes the arteries to dilate, which means to grow. Now, what happens if you're got a bigger area to blow liquid through? You're going to have to pump harder. So what happens is the heart pumps harder, and so it's pumping all this excessive amounts of blood, and excessive, well, not excessive because it's trying to get oxygen to the ear so it'll work, but excessive quantities of blood than usual into your small little canal. So if you can imagine, well, just imagine this: you got waste products in the blood, and it's dilating even more so, and then you're getting plaquing, which is a whole different thing. Get vitamin C. Don't get ascorbic acid. It's not vitamin C. Get real vitamin C. You push the blood into your tiny little canal, and it goes, and you're like, what the hell is that? Especially when you lay down and you make it easier for the blood to get in there. Okay? Especially in a quiet room, we can hear it more. So we just went over 3 things there. Very, very broad idea, but I've been thinking about this for a while, and this is really what I'm seeing behind everything that's going on. It is all diet related. Tinnitus is diet related. The emotions behind what gives you tinnitus are diet related. Why do you think there are millions and millions of people in the world who can get so stressed out and so and so have such a terrible life and never get tinnitus? Part of the reason is their diet, of course. A big part of the reason. Another part you could argue could be their genetics. Remember, the genetics of us are about, I think, 90% foreign, so the bacteria, the parasites that are helping us, they're actually doing their job. Some of us, unfortunately, take antibiotics when we're younger, which causes an imbalance, and basically when anything like emotional stress sets in, we've caused so much damage to the ecosystem in our bodies that it's not able to repair itself, so we need to actively go in and repair itself. Okay, so I hope you learned something. And also, if you really are serious, I mean, come on, if you're really serious about getting rid of tinnitus, click below and download my free ebook. So, click below, hope you learned something, and good luck with your tinnitus, okay? Cool. And come see me in Chiang Mai if you're in Thailand.